In a laboratory in Maryland, this horrific experiment was done. That was initially designed to simulate the future of mankind, so much so that when the results were released, it caused a great deal of social panic. This is the creepy 25th universe experiment, Mouse Utopia. So how scary was it? Back on July 9, 1968, animal behaviorist John Calhoun built a square city of rats in his lab. It was 2.6 meters long and wide and 1.3 meters high. The walls were lined with tunnels and rooms for the rats to move around and live in. With no natural predators and unlimited food resources, it's a paradise for the rats. But the only drawback is the limited living space, which can only accommodate a maximum of 3,800 rats. But to everyone's surprise, in less than 5 years, this seeming paradise has become a tomb for all the rats. And what happened in this experiment? First, Calhoun put 4 pairs of rats into the lab. At first, the rat population grew rapidly, doubling in size in just 55 days, and then doubled every 2 months. And with a good supply of food, the atmosphere in the colony was very peaceful. On the 390th day of the experiment, when the colony reached 620, the rate of growth began to slow down significantly and a social structure occurred. The first group of rats, with mates and families, controlled the core resources and geographic locations, so much so that the newborn females are left to live alone in areas far from food, and the newborn males gather in the center of the rat city to enjoy the abundant food resources and social life. But at the same time, the social behavior of the colony began to become more and more erratic, such as harming and abandoning their young before they are weaned. Dominant males are unable to protect females because they can no longer maintain their own territories. And males with no social status began to show passive avoidance by not fighting back when attacked. By the 600th day of the experiment, with the birth of the last viable individual, the total population reached 2,200 rats. From this point on, the social behavior of the rats entered a sustained breakdown. More and more rats began to spend all their time and energy eating, sleeping, and grooming themselves. Not only were they mirror white and unscarred, they looked like angels of doom. They stopped attacking each other and stopped mating. When most of the rats stopped reproducing, there was a permanent change in behavioral patterns. The entire rat society collapsed. In 1973, when the last rat died, in less than 5 years, this perfectly equipped rat utopia came to an end. And that was the end of Experiment 25. Calhoun later concluded from this experiment: when all available space is occupied and all social roles are played, the competition experienced by the individual and the pressures it puts on them will lead to a complete collapse in their complex social behavior. Because the experiment was a direct reflection of human society, the results of the experiment were immediately rejected by people from all walks of life. They argued that human social behavior was far more complex than that of rats, so the experiment was gradually discarded. But today, more than 40 years later, many of the social phenomena we face can be traced back to this experiment and share some of the laws of nature. That is, only when the younger generation is more energetic and mentally healthy can we better continue the development of human society as a whole. Although the 25th experiment does not suggest the future of mankind, but it does have a certain value for mankind.